Welcome to Game 3 here between the Cardinals and the Lemonheads. Both teams are 1-1, so this is a pivotal game, and it's a good matchup. The Cardinals are the home team. Lemonheads will be batting first. And I'm Nick Schaefer, and joining me is Paul Cook.
Yeah, it's a pivotal game for both teams, like you said, Nick. Both are 1-1. In this format, if you lose two games, you got a tough road ahead of you. So both of these teams, want to stay on that right side of the ledger. They want to get that second win now. Try to get that third win then. Both of these are good teams too, with real Sunday aspirations. And whoever loses here is going to see their Sunday chances dwindle quite a bit.
Yeah, so this is like a playoff game that's not in the playoffs yet. So I mean,
Yeah.
basically every game in this tournament's a playoff game almost. You want to win every game you possibly can, but this is critical if you really want to, like you said, improve your chances. So it looks like for the Lemonheads, their batting order will be Pete, Tim, Mike, and Ray. So they're batting 4, and the Cardinals are also batting 4. Their lineup is Sam, Cam, Gus, and Cole. A lot of short names in both these teams. I just realized this. A lot of 4-letter or 3-letter names.
Short player names and short-ish rosters. Both of these teams have 4. Oh no, I'm sorry. The Cardinals do have a 5-man roster, but they'll just play 4 this game. Lemonheads only a 4-man roster. They're supposed to have Tom Polly, but he's not here, so go with a 4-man roster. Looks like Sam Skibby will start for the Cardinals. Him and Gus are going back and forth on warm-ups here. Gus pitched pretty much 2 complete games for the Cardinals, their first 2. He came in relief of Josh Rogers in Game 1, then went against the New York Meats for all of Game 2. Gus has looked as good as I've ever seen him. I didn't necessarily see him in his prime NWA tournament years and all of that, but I've seen him pitch the last few years. He looks really good today. He's got that nice drop pitch you just kind of saw there in the warm-up going.
Yeah.
Sam's also looks good in warm-up, so I think they're kind of, whoever's going to throw more strikes, I kind of think is the right guy to ride here.
And give us the scouting report for Mike Stiles and the Lemonheads, who will be taking them out for them.
So, Sal's a hard thrower. He's got a lot of pitches, but still very much a developing pitcher. Last year's United Wiffle was his first fast pitch tournament ever. He played for Devin Torres' East Coast Bomb Squad, pitched well. Then he got a full season under his belt with Earl and MAW this year, but he's still very much a developing pitcher. He got to throw a lot of big games for Earl, so he got a lot of experience. But he's still very much both a young pitcher in age and in experience. So he'll throw hard, but that doesn't. This Cardinal team can hit. Sam and Gus are great hitters in any style. Sam had 2 home runs in an earlier game today. They can hit, and if Stiles, isn't on his game, if he's sometimes he can get a little too straight with his pitches. He just kind of falls in love a little bit with just throwing hard, and that could bite him.
Yeah, I think in a tournament like this, with this much talent, you got to have movement and you got to have purpose behind your pitches. You just can't throw hard. Throwing hard is not good enough. It might help you through 1 or 2 innings, but eventually good hitters are going to hit just pure velocity. I think you need to have movement, change of speeds, and location. Wiffle ball has advanced a lot for pitching, especially when it comes to change of speed and locations.
And and don't get me wrong, Stiles has good stuff.
Yeah,
he has all those things you mentioned, but
consistency.
Yeah, it can sometimes get away from him. And sometimes he just comes off like a lot of young pitchers, where it's more sort of throwing than pitching.
As a player, I saw the Risers second baseman made a play, and the fans cheered and he bowed to them over on the field next to the field 1 where we're at. You got some funny stuff. I like this field, Paul, because you can see a lot of action going on in the background and the sides.
Yeah, especially now we moved up. Earlier games we did from just below the press box, then we moved back up into the press box because it was raining, but it looks like the rain subsided, at least for now. But yeah, you can really see the whole field from here.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite, I said this last night during the Home Run Derby, if you look into left center of your screen here, you can see a White Castle billboard. It's one of people from New Jersey and New York, one of their favorite places to go. Makes you hungry when you see those little slider burgers out there.
Even though there's apparently not a White Castle like within 60 miles of here. So it will be Gus to start for the Cardinals. He'll be facing Pete Slater, leading off for the Lemonheads.
So the Lemonheads have the bright color uniforms and the weird-looking shorts, too. I guess signifying lemon kind of colors. I like the Cardinals colors, too. I like the nice logo. We have a lot of cool uniforms out here. I think it's very impressive what the teams have done in the last few years, especially. Nice sidearm drop. I think it hit the strike zone. It's hard to tell from here. I think they're talking about it now. But wiffle ball is the pitcher's call on whether the ball hit the strike zone or not. We had a situation in Game 1, if you were with us, between Unleashed and Miracle with that. Hits the inner part of the strike zone. As Paul mentioned before, Gus is on the mound. We weren't sure if it was going to be Sam or Gus, and they ultimately chose Gus. A lanky pitcher. Sidearm drop. Looked like Pete got a piece of that. He's already featured 3 different pitches already. You got to be careful, though. You don't want to show your whole arsenal right away, so sometimes as a pitcher you want to try to get through the first or second inning with just using a couple different pitches. I like to say it's the Justin Verlander approach. You know, I remember watching him pitch, you know, especially in his prime. He would try to get through the first bunch of innings just using his fastball. Then he would incorporate his changeup or slider. Wiffle ball is a little different, though. You only have 4 inning games here. Good at bat by Pete already, making him work. Both these teams will have 2 infielders and 1 outfielder. Last game we were watching Unleashed, they went with 3 total fielders, so they did not have an outfielder most of the game. So good at bat by Pete. He came back to work a walk. Man up first with Tim coming up. Tim seems like he's a hot or cold hitter. You know, there's some games you turn around and he's hitting loud hits all over the field, and there's other games where he doesn't touch the ball. But, you know, so it depends if he's going to be hot or cold this game. And Tim, historically, the last few years, does hit good pitching, too. He has an unorthodox, like, batting stance and, you know, a little weird. It's a little open, too. Crouches down pretty good, significant amount. Good take there. The good thing is the rain has subsided here. It was raining, not hard, but consistently cold drops before. So the fact that it's gone now has made it very good playing conditions. Oh, good sidearm drop inside. And the weather forecast looks good, as Tim Cook was just showing me. So we're going to be good for a while. And the other field, Jerry just grounded out for the Risers, and I think he hit a grand slam before. So that's a big game for the Risers, too. They're 1-1. Who are they playing over there? K9. And K9 must be 1-1 as well, right? So that's a huge game over there. So if you don't know this, we're at People's Bank Park, which is in York, Pennsylvania. It's home to the York Revolution minor league baseball team. This stadium is fantastic. I think it opened, I forget now, 2007, 2008?
2007, yeah.
2007, and York did not have a baseball team between the years of 1960 to 2007. And famously, Brooks Robinson, the great Hall of Famer third baseman for the Orioles, played for the York, what was their name again? The York
White Roses.
White Roses, as I'm looking at the poster here. And there's a statue of Brooks outside the stadium, so.
Yeah, you don't think of York as a baseball city, but it's got a long, rich history. And this really is a beautiful stadium.
Oh, it's a remarkable stadium. And I'm not even saying that just it's nice for a minor league stadium. It's nice for any stadium. Yeah. Very intimate. I mean, it still looks like it's only a few years old. We've had a lot of energy yesterday at the home run derby, today on the field, you know, not just with the players, but the fans. I mean, people are really into this, so it's a great, great atmosphere for wiffle ball. Very well done.
A couple quick outs after the leadoff walk from guys. He looks, even though this is his third game, he looks like he still has good stuff, good velocity.
I like his stuff. He's changing it up. Ray's up here with 2 outs, so, you know, just to remind folks, a clean double. I mean, there's no such thing as any kind of double, clean or unclean, scores anybody from base, clears the bases. So So Ray's job here, he wants to try to get a guy scoring position, but if he gets something to drive, try to get an extra base hit. Historically, Ray's known as a pitcher. Doesn't mean he can't hit, but he's, stronger characteristics as a pitcher than a hitter. And I think as he gets a little older and gets to play the game a little bit more, he'll become a better hitter. He's a college baseball pitcher for Cabrini University, which is a D3 school down here in Pennsylvania. I think is he a starting pitcher or relief pitcher? Do you know?
I think he's done a little bit of both, which I guess you probably get a lot at those that level of university. That was really nice drop pitch from Gus. That's obviously his bread and butter. You've seen it here, but it's got a little bit bigger of a break than some guys have. And I think it's just enough that started him off. And nice use of that riser there. He had him looking, drop pitch, and then guys. Jordan Robles is a guy that does that a lot. Works vertical, changes your eye level. Gus did that really well there.
You want to notice, Paul, too, especially that last pitch. Gus hides the ball well. We could tell from our angle where we're at because we're at center field angle here. He hides the ball behind his back leg, and then he's lanky too, so it comes out at a different angle. So two different parts there, I think, that throw the hitter's timing off. So we're heading to the bottom of the first, and the Cardinals' order is going to be Sam, Cam, Gus, and Cole.
Short names.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have a couple minutes here. Mike Stiles, one of the more notorious long warm-up guys in the game right now. So I'll go with maybe a few, guys. I don't know if there's any guys that pop out to you or any teams, Nick, so far today, but just, people that have stuck out to me, in some teams. So, I mean, first, I think if we're talking upsets, York Yaks come to mind. They beat the High Rollers in their second game. Brendan Barnowski, who's a good pitcher in both Kalamazoo Football League and MLW out of Michigan, pitched that game for the Yaks. Jared Bull pitched their first game. So the Yaks are 2-0 now.
2-0 Yaks. And they're one of the older team franchises here too, right?
Yeah, one of the older franchises, one of the older teams. I mean, Brandon brings down their average age level quite a bit, but otherwise it's up there with the rest of us. So that's a real surprise team at 2-0. Likewise, at High Rollers are now 1-1. There's been some real solid pitching performances. I saw Reed Warner pitching earlier. It ended for the 8 balls. It ended in a loss, but that guy's got an electric arm. He throws as hard as anyone. And Brett Colati threw a no-hitter earlier in the day against that 8 balls team for a big win for Slaughterhouse. There's just been a lot of really, and I'm sure I'm missing a ton. Because you can't see everything. There's been a lot of under-the-radar, performances. We all like to talk about the big teams that have a chance to win this, but that's not why you come to a tournament like this or watch it. You watch it for all these teams that are under the radar that you don't see all the time.
Well, I'll say a couple observations that I have. I won't say pitchers, or players. I'll say that it's been cool to see the amount of teams that have gone to the relief pitching right away. Because they realize 4-inning game, every inning's big. And if somebody's struggling, pull the pitcher, put somebody else in. But the other thing is, I've noticed a number of fielding errors, fielding miscues, and I think those are going to make some big differences of games. Huge swings that could cost somebody the game. So those are two things to keep an eye on going forward as well.
Yep, and I think a big reason, or at least one theory for why we're seeing so many defensive miscues is this truly is a for lack of a better term, a melting pot of football teams and players at this tournament. So there's a whole lot that are just vaguely familiar or semi-familiar with this style of play and these rules, and that's going to lead to more mental mistakes. That's going to lead to, we saw earlier, just like rushing a throw, and stuff like that. I think as the tournament filters on, you'll see less of that because I think the teams that move on, not necessarily because they're better, but just this may be their first time in this style, but they've gotten it down, so they're okay with it, and you're going to see more of the veterans of this style. But
once you settle in, I think it helps you too.
Yep, absolutely.
I think you just get used to. I mean, and the other thing, Paul, is teams jump from different field to different field too, and just this view right here, that as a viewer you see, some of the fields have a little bit of dirt. This field has some sod. The other field has some sod and dirt behind us.
Yep.
That's what makes wiffle ball tremendous. Is there's differences all over the field, all over the whole park. So it's really, really cool. Even some of the walls out there, some home runs, if you're for a lefty or righty, you got to hit a higher rather than a line drive. So it's really unique.
That's what. Yeah, I agree completely. That's what's really awesome about this setup, and here at People's Bank, and it is a real credit to their grounds crew, and then United Wiffle staff, Nick Shirey especially, of putting together really, really unique fields. There's no cookie cutter fields here. Everyone plays differently, and that's really cool because that's what baseball's like. That's what most things are like. You're not just going to go to one field that looks the exact same dimensions as another.
That's why baseball is so great and wiffle ball is so great, because all the other sports, basketball court's the same, soccer field's the same, football field's the same. So it's really neat that baseball, you could do a little different things with it.
Yep, there's all that to take into play, and that's also why it's fun watching a tournament like this, because you get that one field against that one team at the wrong time for you, and you may suffer a loss you didn't expect to suffer, and that's what's cool is that every game here really counts, and there's all those little elements that are in play too.
It looks like you weren't kidding, Paul, with Sam.
I was not.
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing hard, and this is like warm-up pitch. He's going to wear himself out in warm-ups.
Well, I mean, what he says is that, I forget what the exact arm injury is. I think it's something with his labrum. I don't think it's fully torn or whatever. So he says he needs to warm up a long time, which sounds counterintuitive, but I mean, maybe that's just the case.
It's like the old boxing adage where boxers want to go into the ring sweating. They don't want to go into the ring not, because you want to be ready to go from the opening bell. Sort of like, it sounds like his attitude too. Yeah, I mean, your own arm better. And there he goes stretching his pitching arm too. Like, you don't want to go in there if you don't feel 100%, especially if you do have a minor injury or a history of injuries. Leading off for the Cardinals, you got Sam up.
So Sam's going to be a very, very good hitter, like his brother. And he's unlike his brother, he's got experience hitting in this style. He played Mo Whiffs this summer, which is very similar stylistically, except for a 5-2 count. But both Sam and his brother are very good NWA tournament hitters. And what's interesting about Sam, both from a pitching and hitting standpoint, is he's good in both styles. But he also approaches it differently. His hitting approach at NWA tournaments is very much slap hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Just put the ball in play, make the fielder make an error, use your speed to reach first. Here he's become a very good sort of big barrel, no base running hitter, where he's more power driven, more trying to just wait for his one pitch.
And I think that's a good approach when you're, especially wiffle ball, because lots of times you will get that one pitch and that was a good pitch to hit there too, but he was fooled on it. So we got one out here. Sam struck out looking. We got Cam coming up. Give us the lowdown on Cam, Paul, as a hitter.
So sneaky power. He's not the biggest guy. He kind of gets in that low crowds, but he's got power. It's I would put him behind Sam in that regard. But yeah, that's his big thing. It's sometimes he'll make contact, and it's real hard contact. It's real loud contact. He's not going to put a ton of balls into play. Again, less than his teammates Sam and Gus, but he can hurt you with one swing. He did that to 603 last year in the quarterfinals. Hit a walk-off two-run home run. I'm sorry, in the final 16 to put him through the quarter. So he can do that. He goes out swinging there.
2 outs with Gus coming to the plate, trying to help himself on the mound. And I can already tell, Paul, this is going to be a closely contested, try to grind out a run game, or somebody hits a home run. I think we're going to have a low-scoring affair here.
It certainly looks that way, which probably means it'll be 15 to 13 in about 2 minutes. But yeah, I mean, with the way Styles is pitching, that's still the challenge for the Cardinals and teams like them, is that they don't see guys like Mike Styles all the time that has these certain cut ball pitches, throws this hard.
Nice sidearm drop there too.
Yeah, really nice sidearm drop. And it's just it's with more reps, these good hitters on the Cardinals team will be will be able to handle a guy like Styles without much not without much issue, but as much as anyone else. But they're not like, they don't get to see him all the time, like if you played in MAW or something like that.
We'll have to get the inning or two later. I have to try to see how fast he's pitching on the monitor here. 1-2-3 inning by Mike. 2 strikeouts looking, 1 swinging. We're heading to the top of the second. We got a 0-0 game between the Lemonheads and Cardinals.
What's also interesting about these teams is not so much as teams. All these guys, these both of these teams have played together in some fashion or another this year. But all these guys have played a pretty heavy schedule this year. So that's sometimes the weird things you get at these big open tournaments, these big open national championship tournaments, is you'll have some guys that come in completely fresh, having not played, some guys that have played a lot. These are guys that have really put in a full summer of wiffle ball, especially the two pitchers. Well, basically everyone on the Cardinals. Yeah, I mean, Mike Stiles put a full year up at MAW. All these guys play Golden Stick Yards. So there's a lot of these guys aren't coming into October, fresh, but they're also not coming into October
completely worn out either.
Yeah, or having no experience. They're primed and ready to go.
It's a tough line.
It is.
You don't want to be. You want to come here playing enough games where you're ready to go, you feel confident, and you have momentum, and and you feel like you are improving when you get here. But you don't want to come here not having played enough. If you're not battle tested in a national championship like this, you're not going to do well most of the time.
Nope, absolutely.
Oh, I just saw another team not turn a double play in the other field, K9 against the Risers. Fielding, I'm telling you, is going to be a big deal here. Somebody's not going to turn a double play. There's going to be an error, give a team another at-bat. We saw it a little bit with Unleashed and Miracle a couple of games ago.
Wes Ellis pitching for the K9s. That's a let me try to take a peek at him every once in a while during this game. Wes, of course, came up big for the Griffle Ball Celebration Station in the NWA tournament this year. Pitched the championship game in there, pitching their first NWA tournament title. Wes has a little bit of an unusual path to this point. He was mainly a slow pitch player for most of his career for the Maple City Magic, who have won a ton of big slow pitch titles. Went to the NWA tournament for the first time last year, went again this year, and now is branching out to this. So he's a guy to keep an eye out for. He's got a real live arm. The ball just flies out of his hand. But got to keep an eye out going forward.
Talk about an adjustment going from slow pitch career to fast. I mean, that's remarkable actually, and he's throwing pretty good speed over there.
Yeah, he's got a live arm.
Pete leading off here for Lemonheads.
Good spot by Gus.
Walked his first at bat. So is Pete the Lemonhead's top hitter usually, Paul?
Yeah, I mean that's why they got him sliding that leadoff position. He's we talked about guys earlier that can do damage with one swing. That's Pete's better than anyone else in this game at that. He's got a great lefty swing, and when he gets a hold of one, it goes a long way. He's usually good for a big home run. If he plays 6 games in a tournament, good chance he'll have a big home run one of those games.
I always think it's good. I mean, you can't intentionally do this, but it's nice that when you have a lefty batter too. I think it throws off the pitcher. You need to have, they call it lineup balance. It's very important.
And Lemon's ability to hit is really going to dictate their tournament here.
Ground ball, nice scoop. Let's see if he completes the throw, and he does not. Nice stop though.
Yeah. So that's a rule here in United Wiffle is you cannot get back up. If you do, you can't make the out. In other places, he would be able to get back up there. Probably would have had a much better chance of making the play. But, no getting back up from your knees here, which is tough. It definitely makes fielding tough.
It's not an easy throw. I think it's a little easier if you're a pitcher, a natural pitcher, but it's still difficult. Tim Beckup for Lemonheads, and a fly ball to right field, and it looks like it's going to land in for a single.
Good play by Cam Smith. He got back. He knew that ball was going to be over his head from the time it left the bat, but he never gave up, kept running after it, and that ball took a big bounce off the warning track. That was going to hit the wall, no doubt, but he grabbed it.
So we got first and third here for the Lemonheads, and Mike's coming up at the plate.
After 2 straight hits, Gus makes Mike wear that one.
This is a big at bat here from Mike. As a pitcher, when you're in a close game, you want to make sure you deliver for your team to give yourself the lead. So you got first and third, no outs. Nice sidearm drop, hit the upper part of the zone, 1-1 count.
And the thing for the Cardinals is the Lemonheads lineup is pretty top heavy with Slater and Beck. If he can get a couple outs here, he can try to work a little more carefully to one of those guys and get him out.
Yeah.
And get his team out of this inning.
That's a great point. They're going to need ground ball back to the pitcher. He needs to hit the strike zone. And run scores, right? He needs to hit the strike zone, not to hold the runner. fielder's choice, 1 out, run scored. I mean, that's it. We were just talking about fielding, Paul, before, the importance of fielding. He was about 5 feet from the strike zone. He kind of pushed the ball rather than threw it and did not hit the strike zone. Ray coming up here for a big run by the Lemonheads.
Yeah, we were just saying we didn't think we were going to see it much scoring early, but that's a big second inning run for the Lemonheads.
I think even Gus would admit that that's a play he needs to make here. Hit the strike zone. You know what happens sometimes as a pitcher when you're fielding the ball, you change your motion, and he pushed out like a shot put, and he missed the strike zone pretty good.
When the first half of the play, he made the smart play.
Yeah.
He didn't try to go for 2. He let his momentum carry him towards home. He just couldn't complete it.
Yeah, I mean, he made the tough part of the play.
Yeah.
So the Lemonheads push across a big run in the second inning to take a 1-0 lead. Ray's up. He struck out Loca in his first at bat. And the Lemonheads made the adjustment this inning, Paul. The first inning, Gus struck out 3 batters, and I think that they took too many pitches. This inning, they're swinging early in the count. They're just sitting on a pitch and going after it.
Yeah, they've definitely been more aggressive, and it's paid off so far.
Ray works a walk, so we got first and second. First and second, 1 out. Pete coming up, and he singled his last at bat this inning. He singled to the second baseman. He made the play and was unable to make the throw. So there's 2 plays this inning that the Cardinals could have made to prevent hits. High and outside for a ball. I like Pete's batting stance, nice and quiet.
Yeah, no, he's got a real classic stance.
It's always weird. People always say the nicest swings are from lefties. I don't know why, but it just works out that way. Got Cap on the mound over there. He must have came in for Chris at one point.
I got to think the Risers didn't smell a victory, if that's the case.
Yeah. And
or Chris, just ran out of gas. Chris has pitched a ton today. Chris is one of those guys we could have mentioned earlier, under the radar.
Oh, yeah.
People that have stuck out to us. He's got 2 home runs today. Chris is not much of a hitter, but he's got 2 home runs today. He's pitched the majority of the Risers' innings, and they're potentially about to go 2-1. So.
Yeah, Chris came in relief in Game 1, pitched all of Game 2, and some of this game, Game 3.
Looks like Gus may be running out of steam a bit himself. It'll be interesting to see how long the Cardinals stick with him.
If they go to relief, you think they go to?
I think they go to Sam here.
Sam here. Sam's fresh too.
Sam's fresh.
Oh, single. Nice piece of hitting there by Pete. He went the opposite field to the left of Cam and was able to get a clean single there. So another run pushed across. Lemonheads now have 2 runs, 2-0. So first and third.
And the Cardinals will make the change, and it does look like it'll be Sam.
Yeah, you can't wait any longer. They maybe should have made the change earlier, but they're probably hoping to get a little bit more innings out of Gus.
Yeah, and remember they warmed both of them up too, so it was a game time decision. But you can't second guess that stuff. You just gotta shut them down here, see if your offense can't get you back, and if not, and you fall to 1 and 2, then that's when it's real decision time. You never want to go home with your best pitcher not pitching. So I would imagine we'll see Cam Smith if the Cardinals can't win this game and go to 1 and 2, and then it's just try to get to 2 and 2, and then ride Cam as much as you can in the next round.
So the 2 and 2 puts you into the bridge round. Is that correct?
No, it puts you into round 2.
Oh, round 2. We
have to play 3 more games. So basically at that point, if you're any team,
it's gonna be very hard.
Yeah, and any team the Cardinals aren't excluded, you're just kind of trying to make it as far as you can. So if Cam, if Cam pitches that 1 and 2 game and wins it, he's probably pitching the rest for them. If they somehow squeak through to Sunday, they're kind of out of energy. But hey, get as far as you can. This is a national championship. You finish top half, you deserve a ton of credit. So that's what it's about for a lot of these teams. Is just getting as it should be, just getting as far as you can.
And we often talk about this too. You need to catch little breaks too along the way at a big tournament such as this. So we got Sam warming up here for the Cardinals, coming in relief.
See, Gus is a lot more. Well, Gus is exclusively, I guess, works up and down in the zone. Sam a little more, traditional. He'll throw some sliders and other things. Comes from that low arm angle a lot. And he's a very, very good pitcher, but sometimes command is his issue.
Yeah, and we said this by me grinding out runs. I mean, the Lemonheads did grind out a couple of runs here, but we might end up, if the Cardinals are going to win, they're going to need 3 or 4 runs themselves. So this might be a little bit more higher scoring than I anticipated. But they came out swinging this inning. They didn't sit back and wait.
No, they definitely did. Like you said, that was a difference maker between innings 1 and 2.
Far field, it looks like somebody just hit a home run. Trying to figure out, it's an orange jersey.
It was Stompers. It looked like a triple.
A triple. Off of the
off the high wall there, yeah. It's Stompers Bombers. A couple MAW teams out there in a 1-1 game.
So Tim Beck up now against Sam. You got to hold him here. You don't want to give up any more than 2 runs. Going against Styles and potentially somebody else in relief. You don't want to be down 3, 4, 5 runs. It's going to be very, very difficult to come back.
Yeah, he's got to shut the door here. That's his only job here, is to stop the bleeding, give his offense a opportunity to come back. That was a good first pitch.
Yeah, I like that. Hit the outer part of the zone. Like, as a pitcher, I used to love when you hit the corners and then went flying into the left or right or up in the air. That means you hit the really, really top or side of the strike zone. And it's hard to do something with those pitches if you're a hitter. Nice pitch, but again, Sam's sidearm. What he's doing is he's going to the side and he's hitting the complete other side of the strike zone. He gets back looking for a strikeout here. So now we got 2 outs, first and third. Mike's coming up. And
flares it the other way.
He doubled. He fisted a double down a right field line. He got completely jammed there, Paul, and he was still able to inside out it down the line. Just enough power to hit the wall. It clears the bases to make it 4-0 Lemonheads. Huge 2-out hit.
Yeah, if you're Sam, I think all you can do there is kind of shrug your shoulders. He didn't make a bad pitch.
No, not at all. That was a good pitch.
Mike went the other way with it. Didn't get a good part of the bat on it. That's just the break sometimes. But yeah, that's the last thing they wanted to see happen. Now down 4 runs with Styles on the mound.
I mean, honestly, I would say 8 out of 10 times the batter does not get a hit on that. It's but once in a while you just get your bat around enough. You get jammed, but you still get a hit. It's frustrating as a pitcher when that happens. You make a good pitch, and the guy delivers a 2-out double. Driving 2 runs. Huge hit. 2-0, Paul, is so much different than 4-0 in football.
It's a world of difference, yeah. Especially with a pitcher like Styles on the mound.
It's deflating if you're the Cardinals on that. Lemonheads came out swinging this inning. They have a single, fielder's choice, walk, single, double in this inning. And Ray's at the plate here. 2 outs, man on second. And he works a walk. So Sam's struggling a little bit. Not unexpected. He coming in relief.
Yeah, I mean, that's all relative because he's let up a walk, a strikeout, walk, and a hit.
Strikeout, double, walk,
Yeah, so but like when you're in that pressure relief situation, you really need to be shut down, and he couldn't.
The 9th batter to come to the plate this inning here for the Lemonheads. This is Pete's 3rd at bat. This is what happens when you bat 3 or 4 in your lineup. Pete's batting 3rd time in the 2nd inning. Lays off that high pitch there. Counts in his favor. Now he's looking for a pitch to drive to get another run across. I'm giving the Lemonheads a lot of credit this inning. The Cardinals haven't had bad pitches. They've really hit the pitches that were in the zone to drive in runs or get guys on base. Very good approach by the Lemonheads.
And if they can keep that up, over the next few games, they're going to be a tough out. That's the big question mark for them is how consistently can they hit.
Yeah, they're like before. If their 3rd and 4th hitters could hit a little bit to add to Pete and Tim, They're going to be dangerous. Nice pitch, outer part of the zone. Gets Pete striking out for the third out. So the Lemonheads put 4 across. We're heading to the bottom of the second. 4-0 Lemonheads against the Cardinals.
Gotta hit it.
Heading to the bottom of the second, Paul. So what would you say the Cardinals need to do with their adjustment to try to get back in this game?
I think similar to what we saw Unleashed do, or not Unleashed, I'm sorry, Mo with Miracle. So their Missouri brethren earlier in the day against Unleashed. So they gotta continue playing their game. I think for them, I think like for Sam and Gus, that's being a little bit aggressive, picking out a pitch, and same with Cam, and just trying to put balls in play, and put a little pressure on Styles. Again, we talked about this in the open. Styles is still a very young pitcher and an experienced pitcher. This isn't a very experienced team. Pete Slater by far is the most veteran guy on the roster, and Pete's kind of soft-spoken. So there's not a lot of you don't have that Joe Nord on the sideline, or even if you think about Styles on Earl, you don't even have that Connor Young type influence to be like, hey, calm down. This is what you do. This is what you should do. If the Cardinals start, putting together a few hits, get a run here, I think they can turn this around. But they got to continue playing their game.
Yeah, and I remember sometimes when I played, I don't know if I even said it to you guys when we played as the Stompers, or just maybe said it to myself. I don't remember, but when we were down, was it 4 runs? Sometimes I would say, let's cut it in half.
Yeah.
Let's try to make it 4-2. It sounds like a lot if you say, let's come back, guys. It's 4 or 5-0. But if you aim to make it, let's try to get 2 runs. It sounds a lot more doable. Then if you make it 4-2, you're right back in the game then. I always like to get it where you get one guy on base and then a big hit ties it up. I think that makes it, lessens makes the chances greater that you could actually come back. If you're trying to score 4 runs in 1 inning, you're going to try to do too much at the plate.
No, absolutely. It's just making those incremental gains. She just Morse code.
So Pete has probably thrown more pitches than
Mike.
than Gus and Sam, if you just count warm-ups with his game pitches. Paul, I like his riser that kind of starts on where the left-handed batter's box is and kind of curls back.
Yeah, it's that Brooklyn riser. Is
that what they call it?
Yeah, or at least that's what I'm told, yeah.
I wonder why it's called that. I didn't know that. It's a beautiful pitch to watch.
Yeah, it is one of the more prettier pitches in the game.
And leading off for the Cardinals, we got Coles up at the plate. It's actually Cole's first at bat.
So Nick, when we were calling that Mo with Unleashed game earlier, we talked about the Mo with pitching being way ahead of the hitting. So that was an easy 91 from Mike Styles on that last pitch.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to get up to more 95 if he needs to as well, 96 even.
But really nice pitch there, 83. The pitching is definitely way ahead of the hitting in that league. But Cole Layden was the exception. He really hit well. His numbers were those eye-popping numbers that would play anywhere. So he's a guy that they're going to be looking for here to get some big hits and contribute to this offense.
That sidearm drop is nice, and he just gassed him there at 92. So he's going 83 with the drop, and then he just increased it by 9 miles per hour to the riser. So Styles is throwing hard.
Cole had a nice swing on that riser, though.
He did.
Even though he did blow by him there at 92, that's something I could see him getting around on later in the game.
Hey Tim. Oh.
So yeah, Styles hitting pretty consistently, 82, 92.
Oh, upper part of the strike zone there. That might have been one of his hardest pitches at the inning, too. Yeah, I mean, I think that it shows his consistency with, what he's doing when his style pitches is around the same miles per hour, whether it's the riser or the drop.
Yeah, I mean, Mike has a baseball pitching background,
Nice.
and he very much approaches hitters like a baseball pitcher. It's here's my breaking ball off speed pitch, here's my fastball, which is his riser.
Yeah, it probably helps the Lemonheads. They have him and Ray that are baseball pitchers, so they get it on the mound. Nice pitching sequence there. 2 straight strikeouts. So, Paul, I mean, I know we're early, but he started this game with 5 batters, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, like we said to start this inning, I think the Cardinals are going to have to find a way to, put some base runners on, string some hits together, put a little pressure on Styles, because right now he's in cruise control.
Yeah, you got to create some doubt. That's whenever a pitcher's dominating, you need to create doubt. Whether you foul off a few 2-strike pitches and get a walk, or you get a single, you just prove to him you could get to him. You got to do something to change this. When a pitcher's confident and he's grooving like he is right now, he's almost unhittable. You got to do something. You got to change the game here. So it looks like we have the Meats in the other field going against that 603.
Let's see, where is it? Oh, this one. Meets 603. So that's
a good matchup.
That's a 2-0 versus 2-0 game. Both of these teams that we're watching here were in the same quadrant of the same bracket.
Outer corner there, Paul. 1, 2, 3, 6 batters by Styles, 6 Ks.
It's pitching really well to start this game.
And he has a fan club out here in the stands too, yelling to him.
But yeah, the quadrant that these 4 teams, the Cardinals, Lemonheads, Meats, and 603 were in, were easily the most competitive of the first 4. You could have seen either of these 4 teams from these 2 games, plus a couple of other teams, make it to that 2-0 game.
Wow, yeah, that was a tough one right there, that bracket.
Yeah, but it'll be 603 and Meats, and the winner of that will punch a ticket at 3-0 and be in a really, really nice position.
Yeah, that's a good matchup there, so we'll try to keep an eye out. And then rain's picking up here, it looks like. Raining pretty good right now. Let's see what the forecast is. It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to go away. Now it's back again.
Oh, it's 7 minutes. I should still check these cameras. I'll be back.
It looks like it's going to continue for the next half hour or 45 minutes, unfortunately. Oh. Hopefully it's more towards Paul's forecast. He said 7 minutes. I'm saying a half hour. But it's coming down. Let's see if that affects the quality of the pitching and hitting right now. Sam on the mound again for the Cardinals. He came in relief from his brother Gus. Leading off for the Lemonheads, you got Tim Beck. 3rd inning, the Lemonheads are up 4-0 in a battle between 2 1-1 teams. So it's a big difference if you're 2-1 versus 1-2 if you're going to try to advance later in the tournament. See, the Phenoms are playing into the field to the left of this game. Can't tell who they're playing. Oh, Unleashed. That's a good game. Phenoms and Unleashed. Both those teams are 2-0. Nice sidearm pitch by Sam there. Rain's letting up a little bit. It was coming down hard for a few minutes, but it's letting up a little bit now. Deep fly ball to center field is going to make it out. Nice catch by Gus. A good maybe 5 feet from the wall. Gave it a little ride, and Gus was able to haul it in. Good positioning out there for him, too. A lot of good fielding nowadays, whether it's baseball or wiffle ball, is about positioning, knowing the hitter's tendencies, what is he doing, what kind of pitches does your pitcher throw that determines whether you're going to play on the left side, the right side versus a righty, whether he's a pull hitter, a little late, do you think? There's a lot of factors, just like baseball, with the shifts and stuff. Same thing with wiffle ball. Oh, nice sidearm pitch by Sam there. Mike's at the plate here for the Lemonheads. He's now wearing a hoodie. You see players do that once it starts raining or gets a little cold, especially a pitcher. Sam with the hesitation pitch there. Sidearm dragged it out wide. That's common in wiffle ball where you see pitchers hesitate or they turn their back, sort of like Kevin Brown style when he used to pitch in the majors. Helps him hide the ball effectively against the hitter and also throws off the hitter's timing. Another fly ball to center. Oh, home run, dead center. Mike gives it a ride, hits it right up the middle for a home run. Nice shot hit by him there. That's when you know you're doing something well as a hitter. You put it right up the middle and hit a line drive. I mean, it was dead center home run. 5-0 lead Lemonheads now. You couldn't hit that more center than what he did. The question was whether it was going to make it out enough. Pete at the plate here for the Lemonheads. Ball outside. Ball inside. Good eye by Tim. Tim hit a deep fly ball previous at bat here. Ooh, good vicious cut. Upper part of the strike zone. Sam is doing a lot of sidearm pitching this inning. I don't know if the ball was a little slick there, but lost the strike zone in that pitch. Yeah, Sam is losing it a little bit. I think it's a little frustration, too, team being down by a few runs. Staying inside, dragging that ball inside there. My mistake earlier, Ray's the one to hit the home run to center field, not Mike. It was a nice shot to center field. Mike at the plate here. Another ball low. Sam was in the strike zone. He needs to kind of bear down and hold him here. You don't want to get any more runs. Oh, and hit by a pitch in the head, it does count as a hit by a pitch. Lemonheads are starting to pull ahead here now. Ray at the plate. Last time Ray batted, he delivered a home run to dead center. Let's see what he can do here. Oh, nice vicious cut. Good spot by Sam, too, down and away. I think the Lemonheads are starting to be more and more comfortable at the plate as the game goes on. Gets him, strikes out right there. Heading to the bottom of the third. We got 5-0 Lemonheads heading to the bottom of the third. And one correction, I think I said it before, it was Ray Lutic with the center field home run before. Leading off for the Cardinals, we got Gus, Cole, and Sam. If anybody gets on, then you got Cam coming up after Sam. So this is a big game. It is 5-0. It is, Cardinals could come back, but you're getting late in the game now as you only play 4 innings, and we're in the bottom of the third. So they need to start making a run right now to come back as they are down 5-0. In the other field, I just noticed that Vin Lee for the Phenoms just blasted a home run against Gannon and unleashed in the field next to us. So that's a big game between two 2-0 teams. And the rain has stopped, and now I see some blue skies in the distance to the left. Dark skies above us, but very nice in one direction. Clouds are moving fast, so hopefully better weather is coming our way. And Styles is taking his warm-ups, trying to, I think Paul mentioned before, either has or has been dealing with some arm issues, so he really needs to warm up. Gus leading off here for the Cardinals, so if they want to start their comeback, they need to do it now. But Mike has been grooving. 6 batters, 6 strikeouts, including 3 looking. His stuff has been very, very good. It's been fantastic this game. Both his screwball drop is probably his best pitch so far, and then his riser or slider too. Let's see if the Cardinals could do anything at the plate. Joined by Tim Cook here, kind of replacing Paul. Paul is working some tech issues around the field because of the rain. And there's Mike starting off with a strike there.
That was only 89. That looked just like the 91-92.
I feel like he could up it a few levels if he wants to. Like he could do 89 there. Like that one was a little hard. To me, he could probably get it to like 95, 96. And when you were out there before, I think he was throwing 92, 93 in those pitches, and then his screw I think was 83, 84.
Yep.
So and his screw is a tight screwball, I like to say too, because it drops late. It doesn't drop early; it drops late.
Yeah, when he's thrown it earlier in the game, he's been hitting the outside corner, and with how it's moving back,
yeah.
At best maybe you foul it off, or you hit a weak ball and maybe get some backspin, and the first base side makes an error. I mean, that's when you're facing a guy this caliber. That's sometimes the best you can hope for.
Yeah, you can't do much with that. As he gets Gus, I don't think you get a piece of it. Gets him striking out there. I mean, he's been phenomenal, Tim. He's faced 7 batters, 7 strikeouts. I know that happens a decent amount with football, but I mean, I don't think he's even had a 3-ball count. And the Cardinals got to be a little deflated when you're facing a pitcher. It's hot like this, and you're down. It's 5. You're starting to know it's gonna be difficult to come back.
The one thing for the Cardinals is they have not used Cam Smith yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, even if they do go on to lose this game, they have a very, very tough road back. But they've also got their best pitcher, and you go with your best pitcher, and if you're able to make it, then you roll the dice.
It's must win after this if they lose every game, right?
Yep.
So you think they go with Cam right away if they lose this game as they get a 1-out walk? So that's their first base runner, and Sam's coming up now for the Cardinals. So you think you go to Cam right away? Or
Yeah, I don't think you can leave your best pitcher on the bench with the possibility of being eliminated.
Yeah, you don't want to go home either without having pitched. You want to leave everything on the field. Ball's a little slick as you're seeing the pitchers dry it off. Nice sidearm screw. He throws a screwball a little different too. It's not more of an overhand. It's more of a sidearm one. And he does a good job hiding the ball too. He brings it by his thigh, and then the ball just pops out of his hand when it explodes. So even though before we said he's throwing 93-ish, 94, it's a little harder than that. Gets him swinging there for 2 strikes. Was that strike 3? Yeah, strike 3. 2 outs here. Man on first. I'm a little behind this digital display. Sometimes I forget to press the buttons. Yeah, 2 outs. Man on first, Cam coming up.
Oh, when Mike threw the ball there to Ray, I was like, oh,
yeah,
throw it because he's done now, just to wipe it off. Swing and a miss. That was a good pitch.
Yeah, you could see the frustration setting in. Even Cam throwing the ball back there. They probably are starting to realize they're a long road ahead of them now.
And like that, so on that first pitch, it definitely started, or at least came across the plate still as a strike, and then just broke so far in, so like you look silly when you swing at it, but when you're at the plate, it looks good. I mean, it's.
He reminds me of Tim, for your older listeners out there, Elvin Cortez, who pitched for the Hitmen. Elvin was a taller pitcher, threw a little harder, but the same style of hiding the ball. Elvin used to keep the ball down low before he brought it up high and throw similar type pitches too. So you can see a lot of common elements. Elvin was a top-of-the-line pitcher at one point. As Mike keeps throwing the ball to Ray, that's why he's throwing it to him. Ray's drying it off for him. Oh, good pitch. Broke low. I don't know. Cam might have got a piece, but hit the backstop anyway. So he gets 3 strikeouts there, gets out of the inning. Now we're heading to the top of the 4th. Lemonheads 5, Cardinals 0. Here's Pete at the plate here for the Lemonheads. Pete has a walk, a single, and another single. He has 2 singles. Somebody just hit a bomb in the other field. Kayvon. Was he batting lefty or righty? Did you catch it?
I did not catch it.
Oh, the sun's popping out in our field. Kayvon, for you viewers out there, know him. He sometimes switches between lefty and righty, and he's very good at both ways. I think he's a natural righty, but can also hit lefty very well. He's a very good all-around wiffle ball player, Kayvon. Kind of goes under the radar. I think when people mention the upper echelon players, he gets left out sometimes, but I don't think that should be the case. Very clutch hitter, very good pitcher, good fielder, hits for power. What did Pete do there? I was looking at the other field.
I think he's out, but I'm sorry.
We'll find out there. Tim Beck coming up here for Lemonheads.
Fouls off the first pitch.
And Tim's a hacker. He's up there swinging. He's not up there to get a walk usually. Sands pitching quick. Gets the ball, goes on the mound, and pitches. Looks like Robles is pitching for the Phenoms against Unleash on the other field over there. He's been pitching early.
He's at least getting warm. It looks like Gino may have either felt a little fatigued or they're just trying to see. It looks like they're...
Oh, no. Looks like, foul ball there by Tim. It looks like it might be Gino. He's on the mound now. Good problem to have, Tim, when you're the Phenoms. When you have that many good pitchers, you're the Phenoms, you're not going to make the wrong choice. It looks like Jordan's on the mound. Gino's going to second base. Oh, nice pitch by Sam. Gets Tim inside. Gets him struck him out there.
So I think there's 2 down, but
Yeah, we're trying to find out here. And then Mike's up here for the Lemonheads. Sometimes a lot of action. You can't keep track of it all. Nice pitch. He kind of turned his back Kevin Brown style and then whips the ball on a sidearm riser that came back at the outer part of the strike zone. It's one of my favorite pitches to see is when the guy does that. Starts it outside, tails back. That one stayed outside. I noticed both Sam and Gus do a lot of sidearm pitches. It's my first time, I think, seeing them pitch. Fly ball, Joe Nord deep to the outfield. Caught. Kind of watching the action in the other field as well. Ground ball, but oh, nice snag. He's going to try to turn 2. He got the 1 out. Oh, just missed turning 2. So on the ground ball double play, what does the guy at second get? The base runner, right? Not the lead runner? It was man on first.
Yeah.
Ground ball to third. He threw it to second.
Runner on second.
Yep.
Okay, so now it's a man on first?
No, man on second.
Oh, okay. So we got a fielder's choice. So Pete did walk his first at bat. My bad on that. Man on second, 2 outs.
Good pitch on the corner there by Skibby.
So Ray's up here. A clean single scores a run. So now one cook to the next cook. Paul's back with us. He was doing some tech stuff. How did it go out there, Paul?
I don't know, but we've definitely upgraded cooks now in the booth.
No, Tim did a good job. Ground ball to second base. Let's see if he can get out of the inning here. He does. So good fielding at the end. They escape with no runs. We're heading to the bottom of the 4th. It is 4-0 5-0 Lemonheads. My bad. Heading to the bottom of the 4th. Nothing Lemonheads, bottom of 4. Pete, I guess this is safe lead. I guess the main thing is whether Mike could complete his no-hitter. He's allowed 1 base runner, which was that walk to Cole last inning, all strikeouts.
I don't know. I haven't been paying it. I've let Tim.
He's looked very good. Looked electric out there, to be honest with you. Everything's working for him. And I mean, in this game, Mike has thrown more pitches in warm-ups than he has in an actual game. There's a lot of fans out there commenting on that. That's what makes this national championship completely awesome. Is a lot of people are really paying attention to the games, especially when they're not even playing, cheering on other players or even scouting them. Very, very high level of play. I'm looking at the field here. I see Unleashed going over some strategy. The Meats are playing 603 All-Stars. There's 2 awesome games to our left and right going on. 4 2-0 teams. Don't know the scores of the games. So we got some scores. The Phenoms are winning 1-0 against Unleashed. And I think that's the only score we have at the moment. We're trying to get the Meats versus 603 All-Star score. Leading off for the Cardinals, we got Gus, Cole, Sam, and if anybody gets on Cam, it's 5-0 Lemonheads. And if you're Mike on the mound, keep doing what you've been doing. You don't want to really change things up because 5-0 is a good lead, but you also don't want to put a bunch of guys on base. As you learned in the last game when Unleashed was up 3-0 with 1 out, and they gave 3 runs to Miracle to actually send the game to extra innings before they won 10-4. Got a pop-up there. Gannon caught the pop-up against Robles in the other field. A lot of action going on. Gus leading off here for the Cardinals. Styles trying to pitch a complete game. Nice pitch. A little sidearm drop. Yeah, he's getting no hits in this game so far. As I mentioned before, he struck out 9 guys. Only 1 base runner, which was a walk to Cole last inning. He's very efficient, too. Not that many 3-ball counts. A double in the other field by 603. Nice screwball by Styles there. Started out of the strike zone and then darted back, hit the bottom corner. Now he pitches a slider in the upper inside corner to catch Gus looking for 1 out. Very good pitching sequence there. Outer corner, previous pitch. Inside corner, next pitch. And Gus has looked back at him like, oh, that's unfair. Here's Cole batting now for the Cardinals. You could tell Mike Styles has a good idea what he's doing on the mound. He's not just out there throwing hard. He's going inside, outside, changing it up and changing pitches. Screwball. It seems like he can throw a screwball drop or strike anytime he wants. Now he goes with the riser. A little change of speed there, actually, and gets Cole swinging ahead of it. Got 2 strikes here and 1 out. A home run, and Phenom's hit another home run against Unleashed in the other field. 2 outs now. Styles just got him swinging. Cardinals are down to their last out. 5-0 Lemonheads. Cardinals are down to their last out, and this score holds up. The Lemonheads would be 2-1, and the Cardinals would be 1-2. Pop up to second base. Ray got it. The first out recorded in the field was on the last play of the game. So the Lemonheads end up beating the Cardinals 5-0. It was 0-0 going to the second inning, and then Pete, Tim singles. Ray got a walk. Pete got a single that scored a run. Then it was a double. And then in the next inning, Ray hit a solo home run to center field to give him the 5th run. And the Lemonheads advance. 2-1 record right now. The Cardinals are 1-2. As Paul mentioned before, the Cardinals still have Cam that's, completely fresh, so he'll probably be pitching coming up.